Welcome to our In Focus discussion about Hope on the Hill. It's an annual event dedicated to suicide prevention for veterans, connecting them with the resources and support they may need to improve their mental health and quality of life after serving our country and dedicating their lives to service. Tonight, we will hear from a veteran, an organization focused on suicide prevention, and the founder of the event. Kicking off our conversation tonight live in studio is Julia Carlson. She is a veteran, retired from the U.S. Marine Corps. And Julia, thank you so much for joining us tonight and bringing all of these wonderful pieces of artwork.
You're welcome.
I am so excited to get to know more about them. But first, we want to get to know about you and your contributions to our country. Can you briefly tell us about your military career?
I sure can. I started out, I'm a local native here in Utah, and I went and joined the Marine Corps right after high school. I started out in heavy equipment and did some various jobs from there. Civil affairs, public affairs. I spent most of my time shooting and teaching combat marksmanship though.
And I understand you're very, very good at shooting. Feel free to answer this next question at your own comfort level. How important is it for us as a community to address suicide prevention awareness, and do you have any personal experience with this topic itself?
Well, the first question, I think it's critical that we are aware of the needs of our veterans, including the risk of suicide. And to talk about suicide prevention isn't an easy topic, and it's important that we address it as communities, because there isn't any one, each veteran experiences different things.
It's unique.
They have different experiences, they deal with trauma differently, and there's not one organization that can be a fit-all to help our veterans, and that's why we come together and find ways that we can help as individuals or as organizations to help our veterans.
And what about your personal experience? Do you have any first-hand recounts of this or going through this yourself?
I do. I've experienced some troublesome things, and art and helping others, and service to me is my art. Helping with 4th District Veteran Treatment Court. I'm a mentor coordinator, and I just try and do what I can to support and serve others, and that's why we started the Doc and Gunnies, to help through the arts.
Now, we are here to talk about veterans and the arts, which is a unique subtopic. We've talked a lot about veterans in the past month because it was PTSD Awareness Month last month, but I'm excited to talk about the arts. Why do you think that veterans participating in the arts has such a benefit to their mental health or their stability?
I think the benefit of veterans participating in the art, if you look at war in itself, the opposite of war for me with what I've seen is art. It's being creative. It's doing something that's creative and helps them both mentally and physically. And art is a way to heal and cope with some of those traumas that they've had.
So we are here to talk about the event next Monday, Hope on the Hill.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us about your involvement, and what is Doc and Gunnies?
Doc and Gunny, so my sister and my husband were combat medics, and Gunny is one of my favorite ranks in the Marine Corps, so we just call it Doc and Gunnies. It's a way that we've just come together and spend some time finding the veterans and telling their stories. We don't just do art exhibits to show the art. We want to tell the stories of how they heal through the arts. And that's why we've put on this exhibit. It's Healing Through the Arts, and it's going to be at the Hope on the Hill event.
That's so wonderful. So tell us about a few of the pieces that will be on display from the event, and how is it unique from maybe the silent auction or some of the other exhibits that will be there?
Sure. Some of our pieces are just display only. They're personal items that they wanted to share, and some of them are up for auction to help the proceeds go back into veteran suicide prevention. But our show is a little bit different because we tell the stories. We interview the veterans. We don't just share the art. We interview the veterans and find out a little bit about how they heal and what participating in the art helps them, how it helps them. As far as our art pieces, we have Vietnam veteran over here, and he paints. And that's one of the things that he does to help him heal. And then we've got different eras, of course. Right here we have a female veteran, and she's also a painter. She served in the Global War on Terrorism, so more recent veteran. And then we've got World War II here, and this I call him a young man because he just is young at heart. he paints on the backs of melamine cutting boards, and he donates them and
texture.
Gives them away to veterans at the VA hospital. And I'm actually wearing a pair of earrings from a World War II veteran named Ralph Reyes, and he carves coconuts.
I know, I'm looking at your earrings and I'm like, wow, that's from a coconut.
And that's his art. His wife doesn't like, she tolerates it, but his wife doesn't like all the shavings that get in the kitchen, but they're just a really fun thing. And then we have the other art. We don't want to just show your traditional art when you think of art. There's any kind of creativity.
Yeah.
Authors, filmmakers. I've got an Army and a Marine here, a Marine filmmaker that did a film called 72 Minutes. Every 72 minutes, a veteran commits suicide. And his story is that he struggled so much with his own PTSD, he happened to take a filmmaking class at UVU and decided he wanted to make a film about veteran suicide and prevention.
So many beautiful forms of art. Julia, we do have to wrap up. Final words real quick. What do you want our viewers to know about the event, about the art, and how can they support?
The opposite of war is art. The best way to help veterans in your local communities, encourage them to be creative. If they don't have the money to buy paint supplies, get them a paintbrush and a canvas and just see what happens.
Very beautiful. Thank you so much. You've been hearing from Julia Carlson, a veteran retired from the U.S. Marine Corps. And Julia, thank you so much for your service, first of all. And thank you for joining us tonight and bringing all this beautiful artwork to help us preview what's going to happen at Hope on the Hill.
Thanks for having me, Rosie.
We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us for our second In Focus discussion tonight on Hope on the Hill. Up next in our conversation is Melissa Hansen. She is the Executive Director of Continue Mission. And Melissa, thank you so much for coming onto the show tonight, and welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you for having me here tonight.
Now, Melissa, we'd like to start with getting to know your organization. Tell us about Continue Mission and what it is that you all do to help veterans in our community.
Okay, so Continue Mission, we are a nonprofit organization. We serve veterans that struggle with physical, mental, and emotional injuries from their time in service. And what we do is we provide all kinds of events for our veterans and their family and support members year-round. So some of the events we provide is in the winter we do cross-country skiing, alpine skiing, fat tire biking in the snow, snowshoeing. We do pickleball all year round. We move from indoors to out as the weather changes. In the summer, we do cycling, disc golf, paddleboarding. Today, we went for a hike up to Secret Lake with a group of veterans. We do trail running, so just all kinds of different events. Our events are at no cost to our participants. We also try to do a family event every month where, like in August, we're having our 7th birthday party. We're going to be renting the South Davis Recreation Center, and we're having our veterans and their family members will come out, and we'll have a swimming party. And so we try to do an event like that at least once a month for the whole family.
I love that. And Utah is sort of the perfect place to do all of these activities. I sort of believe that Utah is like Mother Nature's playground. So we are very fortunate in that aspect that we have the mountains, right? The water, yes. The snow in the winter to do all of this. This is a cause that has personal meaning to you. I understand that you are the wife of a retired Army sergeant. Tell me about how the outdoors helped him maybe heal or preserve his mental health after he suffered a traumatic brain injury.
Okay, so my husband Josh came home from Iraq in 2007 with, like you said, a traumatic brain injury. He had a lot of physical challenge as well as mental challenges, and he isolated. He was not doing well. He was going down the road of having suicidal ideation, and we actually lost one of his fellow soldiers and a very good friend of ours to suicide. And that was a turning point for him. He decided, I need to change my life. I need to get better so that I can help other veterans in their recovering process. So he started slowly. He just started doing physical activities outside. He started with a mile walk down the road, and eventually he started running, and he learned how to ski. And so in 2014, we thought, this being outdoors, being physical, eating healthy has helped Josh so much. We want to help other veterans and their families find healing the way we had found healing, and so we started Continue Mission.
Can you talk a little bit about nature therapy? How does outdoor and educational events like the ones that Continue Mission hosts, how do they help veterans with suicide prevention and mental health?
Okay, yeah, so we get veterans out of the house, out of isolation. We get them out in nature, like to the hike we went on today. The air was so clean and fresh and beautiful. We enjoyed camaraderie. We hiked together. So the camaraderie, the being together, the being outdoors in nature is so healing for the mind and body.
I love that so much. I'd like to share some impressive numbers about your organization. In your first year of launching Continue Mission in 2014, like you said, you served 13 veterans. And then the next year you served 774. And now we are just a month ahead of your 8th anniversary. What are the numbers now?
So this year through June, we have served over 1,500 participants to our program. We've held 101 events for our veterans this year and hope to continue just holding events. We hold events 3 to 4 times a week, and they're different days, they're different kinds of events. It's nice because we have some veterans that they'll come mountain biking, and then we have other veterans that like to ski, and then we have veterans that do kind of a little bit of all of it. So we just have a broad range of opportunities for our veterans and their families.
There is something for everyone.
Yes.
We only have a little bit of time left in this segment. Tell us about your involvement with Hope on the Hill.
Okay, so Hope on the Hill is a great opportunity for veterans to come out and enjoy camaraderie, have a great dinner by Texas Roadhouse. They're sponsoring that for us. We have vendors that offer different healing modalities for our veterans. We have it's nice because, like Julia mentioned earlier, there's not one organization that fits every veteran. And so at Hope on the Hill, we have multiple vendors coming that can offer different programs for different veterans that will be a good fit for them in their healing process.
So I'm guessing that many veterans that have joined on to your organization may have met you through past Hope on the Hill events. Is that right?
That is correct. This will be our 2nd annual Hope on the Hill. And we definitely hope that veterans that are maybe watching tonight will reach out and come to Hope on the Hill, and they can learn about Continue Mission as well as some of the other veterans organizations that will be there that night.
Yeah, you heard it. If you know a veteran, if one of your loved ones is a veteran, come on out and meet Melissa with Continue Mission. Melissa, thank you so much. You've been hearing from her. She is Melissa Hanson, Executive Director for Continue Mission. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Thank you to your husband for serving, and we'll see you next Monday at Hope on the Hill.
Sounds great. Thank you.
We'll be right back. Welcome to our 3rd and final In Focus discussion tonight about Hope on the Hill. Rounding out our conversation tonight is Robin Towle, Mrs. International 2019, and her daughter, Jacqueline Towle, Mrs. Preteen Western States International. Thank you both for joining us virtually, and I'd like to start with you, Robin. We want to talk about your personal tie to suicide prevention and awareness. This was your platform when you were Mrs. International 2019. Why does this cause mean so much to you?
Yes, well, suicide prevention is such a dear thing to my heart. When my boys were in high school, we had 8 suicides in a 2-year period. And when my son became depressed, I was very worried about him. I knew that no one would lose their child if they knew that was going to happen, and that there was no way I could know for sure he was okay. So that led me down a road of creating a nonprofit that teaches positive emotional skills for teens. Through doing this, I realized that I have my own set of mental challenges. I thought I was stressed out all the time when really I lived with anxiety most of my life, and also have dealt personally with suicide ideology. And so I just, I understand, and I know that there's help, and I know that there are strategies that we can use to help be mentally healthy. And so I just wanted to share those things with other families in hopes that no one has to go through what our family had to go through.
Very true. And suicide doesn't discriminate. It can impact anybody, no matter your background, how old you are, or where you live. I'd like to know about the backstory about Hope on the Hill. We've sort of been teasing it in the last 2 segments, and we're going to talk about it more in this segment. What inspired you to create the event, and where did the name come from?
Well, I studied the Constitution and the Founding Fathers a lot with my children, and just have such a great love for our country. I'm so thankful to be an American and for the freedoms and the life that we have. And when I competed in Mrs. America, Jessica Lynch was my judge. And afterwards, I got to know her and read her book on being a prisoner of war, learned about the tragedy that she went through, the torture, and that she lost her best friend, and the people that were in her group that were attacked. And my heart just went out to her, and so she and I started this hope together. And so we wanted to give hope to our veterans. I just think that there are things that we can do, like Melissa has mentioned, and Julia, that there are different ways of healing, and we wanted to make those known to our veterans, the different types of modalities, because maybe one veteran may not be able to do outdoor excursions, but he can do artwork, and maybe EMDR helps one person where ketamine helps another. And so we wanted all of the veterans to know the different modalities of healing. And we named it Hope on the Hill because what better place to celebrate our veterans than at the state capitol?
I love that. It's sort of like you're consolidating all of these different options into one place. And so the veterans can kind of come and see all of their options and the available resources all in one night. So tell us about the event then. You did sort of preview the resources and supports that veterans will be able to meet and see if they attend the event. What else can they expect if they sign up and attend on Monday?
The community has really come together for these veterans. I am so amazed. The first time that we had it, I was struggling. 3 weeks before the event, I had not solidified funding for a venue. And so this time it's been amazing that people know about it, and they are coming to us wanting to help provide. So we have the Riverton Jazz Band, which is a lot of veterans who will be playing for them. We have entertainment. We have amazing speakers. One of our speakers, Kitty DeRuyter, was in a concentration camp during World War II, and she will share her story. We have the vendors set up so they can learn about the different resources, and we are so thankful for the people who have donated. Texas Roadhouse has been there for us, and so we have Texas Roadhouse in Sandy this year sponsoring all of the food. I have a manufacturer who sponsored t-shirts for them, so they're going to get t-shirts, and Sam's Club has given the flowers and the dessert, and donated for our rentals, and we have, everyone has just come together to make it such a wonderful event. They'll get to learn about Steps Recovery's donated. They'll be there to help them know about addiction recovery, and Humana has donated our sound. So we are so blessed and so excited to give our veterans the night that they deserve of honor and resources.
Really a pull of support from the entire community. Jacqueline, let's bring you in. You've been sitting there looking so patient and pretty. What is your part with Hope on the Hill this year?
Well, I'm going to be entertainment, so I'm going to be dancing at Hope on the Hill and talking to families about healthy emotional skills and how to teach healthy emotional skills to their kids.
I love that. And Robin, we have to wrap, but real quick, tell us the details about the event, who, what, where, when, why. Where can people go to sign up or get more information?
Absolutely. So Hope on the Hill has a Facebook page where you can find the flyer. It's mhanson@continuemission.org is the email. If you would like to RSVP, is July 12th. At 5 o'clock, it will begin, and we would love to have veterans come. They can come with one support person and RSVP and spend a wonderful night learning about these modalities.
I love that so much. You've been hearing from Robin Towle, Mrs. International 2019, and her daughter, Jacqueline Towle, Mrs. Preteen Western States International. Robin and Jacqueline, thank you so much for speaking to us about the event. We wish you the best of luck at your event next week.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And don't forget, we'd love to hear from you about the show. We invite you to join our Facebook group by going to facebook.com/groups/ABC4InFocus, or you can send us an email, infocus@abc4.com.